If you have a narcissist in your life, it's best that you cut them off. It's best that you cut them off because it doesn't get any better with age. It only gets worse. It only gets worse with age, man. Narcissism doesn't get any better with age. So if you have a narcissist in your life, it's best that you cut them off for good. It's best that you cut them off for good. It doesn't matter if it's a family member, a friend, or a colleague. Cut them off, man. Cut them off. It will save you a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time, a lot of trouble, bro. Cut them off. Because narcissists have no internal sense of self. They have no internal sense of self. So you can't try to soothe things out with them because it will never work. It will never work. They don't see any problem with themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're always the victim. Always. Always the victim. That's how they think. They think everybody else is the one causing them problems, but they're the ones who are causing problems. So if you have a narcissist in your life, it's best to cut them off. And if you want to know how to tell if somebody's narcissist, go watch my video, How to Tell Somebody's a Narcissist, and then watch the other one called How to Deal with a Narcissist. That will help you a lot. Watch those videos, man. But I have a covert narcissist sister in my life, and she's so toxic to the point to where I started doing a lot more research. I started to do a lot more research, and I came across this website where it says narcissism doesn't get any better with age. So I'm going to report all my findings from that website in this video. So the first thing I noticed is they become more close-minded. They don't take responsibility for the things that go wrong in their lives. They just blame others for their loss of power and the inability to get the attention that they deserve. And if you're the scapegoat, aka in my situation, me, I'm the scapegoat, a targeted individual. If you're the targeted person, they will dump all their issues onto you. They will dump all their insecurities onto you. Project all their insecurities onto you, man. The projection becomes way worse. It gets way worse, bro. It gets way worse. The older that they get, the more they're gonna project all their insecurities onto you and make you feel like you are the one who's causing all the problems when it's really them. They become more self-centered. The older that they get, the more self-absorbed they become. If they're not getting the attention like they're used to, they will make up for it by using the energy they once used on others on themselves. They become way more self-absorbed, bro. Way more self-centered. The older that they get, the more self-centered that they become. Now, I live in a family. I'm from Cameroon, so I have a huge family. My family is very, very big. I have so many cousins, so many aunts, so many uncles, so many people in my family, bro. And there's a lot of narcissists in my family, man. There's a lot of narcissists in my family. And all the narcissists that I've been observing, they've gotten worse and worse. The older that they've got, they become more insecure, way more worse, way more self-centered. Like my sister, this is probably the most self-centered that she's ever been. She was more empathetic when we were kids. Well, at least she presented herself to be. Now she's extremely narcissistic. Extremely. She's a full narcissist. She's as narcissistic as you could ever be. They become needier. They start to become more demanding of other people's energy. Remember, a key characteristic of narcissism is a lack of empathy. They lack empathy. They can't put themselves in other people's shoes. They can't put themselves in anybody's shoes. They only think about themselves. They're only out for themselves. Everything is about them. That's all. That's how they think. They can't put themselves in nobody else's shoes. But yet, they expect you to be fully caring and empathetic and sympathetic for them. They're not going to be there for you. They will never defend you. They will never defend you. They will never have your back. but they expect you to have their back. They expect you to be empathetic to them, but they don't have to do anything for you. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. And that's why I don't deal with narcissists, man. They don't play fair. They don't play fair. They don't play fair. They become more immature. They don't want to grow old, so they tend to act as if they're kids, throwing tantrums when they don't get their way, and they want instant gratification, and they have no patience when it comes to waiting. No patience. Narcissists don't want to grow old, man. That's why they're so childlike. They act like kids. My sister even said one time, if I could go back to being a kid, I would. Yeah, because you're a narcissist. They don't want to grow up. They don't want to grow up, man. They want to be kids forever. You know what I'm saying? They want to be kids forever. They don't ever want to have to take on things. They don't ever want to have responsibilities, man. They want everybody else to do everything for them, but they don't want to do anything for anybody else. That's how they are. They become way more immature. My sister is 28. She acts like she's 13. She carries herself like she's 13, man. But when other people come around, she changes and acts like a grown woman. Like, nah, man. Nah. They start to alienate themselves more. They have no empathy, and they're not interested in seeing things from anybody else's perspective. They're not interested in seeing things from anybody else's perspective, man. They don't hold back on their opinions and ideas, even if they'll cause pain in expressing them. They'll burn bridges and destroy relationships, finding themselves more alone the older that they get. They find themselves more alone because their narcissism only gets worse and worse and worse. So then it makes people not want to be around them. So that's why they hold on so tightly to their relationships. They hold on so tightly to the few relationships that they have because they want to maintain power, control, and they want to have supply. They want to have never-ending supply. That's what they want, never-ending supply. They don't ever want to lose supply. In my case, I was just lucky enough that I discarded my sister before she could discard me. And if you're educated on narcissism, you know that with every narcissist, there's the idealization phase, the love bombing, devaluation, discard. That's the phases that they go through with their targets. I'm the targeted person in my relationship with my sister. I discarded her before she could discard me. We was in the love bombing phase. I left before she could ever discard me. Because I've already dealt with so many narcissists to where I was like, all right, I know what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. They keep putting these people in my life because there's a lesson for me to be learned. And after I discovered that, I cut her off. Got away from her, and now she's doing everything she can to try to bring me back so that she can continue to destroy me. But it's not going to work. I will not allow that to happen. I'm way too educated. I'm way too much of an empowered empath to allow her to continue to just destroy me. I won't let it happen. I won't. You know? They develop higher levels of paranoia. They believe that other people are out to get them, take what's theirs, and that they're being stalked, but they have no evidence to back up their theories. Narcissists are very delusional, bro. They're very delusional. They will create things in their own mind. They'll create things that are not real. They create things in their head, man. They create shit in their head that is not real, bro. Nobody's out to get them. They're the ones out to get other people. They're the ones trying to destroy other people. But they think everybody else is out to get them. Nobody's out to get you. No one's out to get you, man. And the more older that they get, the more delusional that they get, bro. The more delusional that they get until they awaken to who they truly are. But 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because they don't see a problem with themselves, bro. That's why it's best for you to cut them off. They tend to be inflexible. When they feel like they're losing control, they will hang on to their thoughts and behaviors even tighter. The older that they are, the more defensive that they get, and the more likely they are to strike out when the ego has been threatened, aka narcissistic rage. The rage becomes way more. The rage becomes way worse when they get older. It gets way worse. The narcissistic rage gets way worse. My sister had narcissistic rage, extreme narcissistic rage, a couple months back because she works for my mom and dad, and they asked her to do some work, and it threatened her ego. She felt like she was above the work, like she didn't have to do it. So she threw a whole temper tantrum. She tried to act like they were assigning her too much work. She threw a whole temper tantrum, went on a rant, started crying, all this shit. My parents were looking at her like she's crazy. They were looking at her like she's crazy. Like, you are a grown-ass woman, 28 years old. If you were to go sit in the office and do some shit like that, people are going to laugh at you. You grown, acting like a kid, man. You got to grow up. These narcissists are insane. They insane, man. They insane. And notice the narcissistic rage, it always happens when there's not many people around. It's usually the people, it's usually just the people that they're having a problem with and them. That's when they have their narcissistic rage. It's never when a lot of people are around. It's always when there's very few people around. Because remember, narcissists always trying to present the perfect image. They're always trying to present the perfect image. So that minute that the image has been blown, the minute that their cover has been blown, you know, that's it for them. So they're always trying to preserve that image. They'll always do everything they can to preserve that image. They're always angry. Their fuse gets shorter the older that they get, and their emotions become more changeable. Even when they seem pleasant on the surface, their rage is always hiding under the surface, and the smallest thing sets them off. More often than not, when they get older, they no longer have the resources they once had, and they're unable to get the admiration and attention that they once received. You know, they're not. The older that they get, nobody can baby you no more, man. At a certain point in your life, you're gonna have to start taking your own responsibility for your own actions. But narcissists, they just expect everybody to do everything for them. They never take responsibility for anything that they do. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start to feel like you have to walk on eggshells around them. That's what you're gonna feel like. You're gonna feel like you have to walk on eggshells around them because they're always ready to just blow up. They're always ready to just blow up on everybody because they live with a bunch of rage in their heart. They hate themselves. They hate themselves, so they spend their whole time going around acting like somebody that they're not. They spend their whole time pretending to be somebody that they're not because they don't like themselves. And it only gets worse and worse and worse with age, bro. It only gets worse. It only gets worse. The rules don't apply to them. They believe that they're special. And because of that belief, they can do whatever they want. The rules are only for other people, and people are too dumb to question them. At least that's what they think. Like my sister, that's exactly how she thinks. Rules don't apply to her. She can do whatever she wants. Bro, the first week that she moved in, my COVID narcissist sister is my stepsister. She's not my biological sister. She's my stepsister. Stepsister. You know, we don't have the same mom. We don't have the same mom, so she hasn't lived with us all our lives. She's been in and out, but now she came here to live for good. Now she came here to live for good. And the first week she came here to live, within the first week she started smoking. She smoked in the house. No one's ever did that shit. No one's ever did that shit in our house. She smoked in the house. Smoked in the house, man. And then when they confronted her about it, she tried to act like, oh, I didn't smoke in the house. I smoked outside. Then why does the whole house smell like smoke then? If you smoked outside, get the fuck out of here. Why do y'all always lie, man? Narcissists are pathological liars. They're always lying. They never tell the truth about anything. She smoked in the house. You know, when they buy groceries, she won't get the groceries. You got to get all the groceries. She's not going to get the groceries. And when she first came here, she would eat and not wash the dishes. She wouldn't wash the dishes. She would eat and then just leave her dishes right there. You know what I'm saying? But now she's doing it. Now she's doing it so that she can look like a good person. Now she started doing her dishes just to look like a good person. You know? It's sad. It's sad that you have to have your own sister has to be a narc, man. That's sad, man. But hey, that's just the way it is. But they act like rules don't apply to them. The rules don't apply to them. Everybody else has to follow the rules, but they don't have to do nothing. They don't have to do anything. And that's how all the narcissists in my family act like. All my cousins act like that. All my cousins that are narcissistic act like that. They don't have to do anything, but everybody else has to do everything. They will never help. They will never volunteer to help unless everybody's watching. They will only volunteer to help if everybody's watching so that they can look like a good person. But when nobody's watching, they're not doing nothing. Because narcissists only care about attention and admiration. That's all they care about. That's all they care about, man. All they care about is admiration, praise, and praise. That's all they care about, bro. They abuse others way more. To them, being older gives them a right to treat other people poorly and give no respect. When they were younger, they knew to hide their toxic parts of their personality because they knew people would find out who they truly are. But in the case with my sister, it seems like she was more outward with her narcissism when we were kids. She was way more outward with it. She didn't care. She didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that she was messed up when we were kids. She was more like a malignant narcissist. But with her, it's like the older that she got, the more she's masking it now. She's acting like she's not a narcissist now. You know? But the typical narcissist, usually the older that they get, the less they care, the more outward they get with their narcissism. But with my sister, the older that she gets, the more inward she's becoming with her narcissism. She's trying to mask it. She's becoming more and more and more of a covert closet narcissist. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you can be able to tell that she's a narcissist is if you are the target. Like in my case, I'm the target. And that's the only reason why I was able to tell. If I wasn't the target, I probably would have never ever known that she was a narcissist, because she knows how to play her role so well. Because I've dealt with so many narcissists in my life, I was able to tell right away like this, that she's a covert narc, a covert narcissist. But the older that they get, the more outward that they get with their narcissism. The typical narcissist. If it's a covert narcissist, they become more inward. But the other types of narcissists, they will usually become more outward. And in the future, I'm probably gonna make a video about the different types of narcissists. But in this video, you know, I'm just gonna talk about how they get worse. We're just talking about how they get worse. But in the future, I'm probably gonna make a video about the different types. But yeah, that's how they feel. The older that they get, they feel like they have a right to treat other people with no respect. They become way more outward with it, man. And people start to see through them like this person is messed up. People start to see them for who they truly are. the older that they get. You know? They play the victim way more. If they feel like they can't depend on their old ways to manipulate people, they will play on other people's sympathies to get attention, which is what my sister does, because she's a covert narcissist, and that's what covert narcissism is all about. Covert narcissism is all about playing on people's sympathies to get attention. My sister plays on everybody's sympathies, man. She will sabotage every birthday, every holiday. If you read about narcissism, man, study the different types of narcissists. And if you know about covert narcissists, they sabotage every holiday, every birthday. My sister, ever since she moved in here, she moved in to this house last year. She sabotaged my birthday last year. She sabotaged my birthday in 2020. She sabotages every birthday, every holiday. But she always gets away with it, because she will go and cry and act like she didn't do anything wrong. So then everybody always forgives her and all that, and they just let it slide. Nah, man. She knows what she's doing. She's conscious. She's aware of what she's doing. She's playing on y'all's sympathy to get attention. And that's the reason why I never gave her no supply. You know what I'm saying? I never gave her no supply. I never cut her no slack, because I know what she's doing. I know what she's doing, man. I know what's going on. And they'll leave a trail of unsuccessful relationships behind them. They never had give and take relationships. Their relationships don't get better when there's more time behind them than in front of them. You can never have a healthy relationship with them if there's no empathy or no interest in your partner's life. All narcissists care about is having someone to attend to their needs and give them the adoration and attention that they need. They're not interested in being told how they failed in changing the person that they are. And without any growth and compassion, a relationship can never survive. Most narcissists would rather be lonely than to look at themselves with a critical eye, which is facts. Straight up facts. They would rather be alone than to look at themselves with a critical eye, man. Narcissists, they don't get better. I'm telling you, they don't get better. If you have a narcissist in your life, it's best for you to cut them off, man, because they don't get any better with age. They get no better. They don't change, man. They only care about themselves. They're only out for themselves, man. They don't care about anybody else's needs, man. Now the covert narcissists, they know how to act like they're caring. They have fake empathy. They know how to act like they're caring, like they care about other people. So they will act, but they will only do things when everybody else is watching. They will only do all the good things when everybody else is watching. Or they'll only do something if they know that they're going to get attention and praise for it. If they're not getting that, then it doesn't matter. And the older that they get, yeah, they're going to smear your name more. They're going to smear your name more when you don't do what they want. They're going to smear your name. They're going to try to make you look like a bad person. That's why it's best for you to just cut them off. If you discover that somebody's a narcissist that you're close to, cut them off, man. Cut them off. Go no contact. It's the best thing that you could ever do, man. Go no contact and cut them off, man. Because they will always make your life miserable. They will make your life hell forever and ever. They will make your life hell, bro. You can't help them. You could try to tell them. You could try to recommend therapy for them, but most likely therapy will probably only make them worse, because they don't have no internal sense of self. They don't see any problem with the things that they do. So if you have a narcissist in your life, cut them off.